Welcome to the DeFi Standard, and this is Mickey B. Fresh. And in today's video, we're going to talk about Flair Finance, the new DeFi ecosystem being built on top of the Flair network, and their coming airdrop to all Spark holders of yFLR, and how you can receive yFLR once the Flair network goes live. So let's start with a quick overview of what Flair Finance is. So Flair Finance is a DeFi ecosystem built on top of the Flair network. So the Flair Finance team is not associated with the creators of Flair network, which is Flair Limited. Flair Finance team is also not associated with Ripple. This is a separate project that's going to be open sourced and decentralized, and it's going to have 6 different products. So we're going to have Flair X, which is a decentralized exchange similar to like Uniswap, which will allow you to swap from one asset to another very easily right on the Flair network and the Flair Finance ecosystem. Then you could also provide liquidity as well to Flair X. Then there's going to be Flair Wrap, which is a bridge to the Ethereum network, which will allow you to wrap ERC20 tokens and bring them over to Flair Finance and the Flair network, and to utilize them in the different Flair Finance products. Then we're going to have Flair Farm, which is very interesting. And now this is where you'll be able to take your yFLR wrapped ERC20 tokens, FXRP, and also FLTC and Spark, and you'll be able to utilize them to mine or farm actual Yfin, which is the second token of Flair Finance. So there's going to be yFLR, which is going to be airdropped to you, and we're going to get to the details of that in a couple minutes. But I just want everyone to understand the background and the overview of what the ecosystem looks like. So you have yFLR, which is dropped to you, Yfin, and then there's going to be Ymin. So the fourth product then is Flair Loans. So this will be similar to like Compound over on Ethereum in that way. So you'll lend your tokens, and then the other side will borrow. We only have minimal details on this so far. We expect to get more soon. And then we also have the fifth product will be Flair Mutual, which is kind of like an insurance protocol for new projects being built on the Flair network. And then we have Flair Mine, which is going to be for the miners of, say, Bitcoin, Litecoin, and other proof of work networks that maybe their F assets going to be on the Flair network, like FBTC, FLTT, FDoge. So it's an opportunity for those miners to actually earn Spark and Ymin instead of the typical rewards they would mine, say, Bitcoin, Litecoin, or Doge. And the protocol all encompasses that. And we don't have too many details on that. And once again, we expect to have more. So those are the 6 products. And then the 3 tokens are yFLR, Yfin, and Ymin. So we are going to be, as Spark holders, airdropped we're going to be airdropped Dflr. Now you're asking, well, what's Dflr? So Dflr stands for Dflr. It is just being airdropped to you to trade in, to swap for yFLR. Now, the details of the actual airdrop. 1 month after the Flair network goes live, Flair Finance will take a snapshot of everyone's Spark tokens in their wallets. And then you will receive Dflr. The ratio right now is roughly going to be 500 to 1. So you'll receive 1 yFLR for roughly every 500 to 575 Spark that you have. There's only 110 million total supply for yFLR. So it is very low and considerably lower than the Spark total supply of 100 billion. Now, 7 days 7 to 10 days after you receive your Dflr, you will then have to swap it to yFLR using Flair X. So they actually make you have to participate in the network to actually get your yFLR. If you do not do that within 7 to 10 days, the Dflr is just useless then. So there will be 7 to 10 day period to be able to do this. So there'll be plenty of time. And then once you do that, you get your yFLR and you'll be able to utilize it on the Flair Finance ecosystem. Now, Yfin is really interesting because it only has a supply of 10,000 tokens. And you can only obtain these tokens by yield farming them or mining them from Flair Farm and some of the other products by providing liquidity, also in Flair loans, but majority through Flair Farm is how you will earn Yfin. Now, we'll cover this further in detail in the future. This is just a broad overview with the information we have now. And there's also going to be a public beta that everyone will be able to participate in. And private beta took place about a month ago, and I got to see the interface, and it is very slick user interface for everyone. So this will be able to be done from your non-custodial self-hosted wallets. You'll be able to directly utilize the Flair Finance DeFi ecosystem. We are not aware of any exchange support yet, but we are many months away, at least 3 to 4 months away from Flair Finance going live, which will be after June 11th, which is the date when all Spark need to be claimed from the Flair network snapshot of XRP. So after that, that's when Flair Finance will do their snapshot of everyone's Spark tokens. So you can buy additional Spark from the time Flair network goes live to when Flair Finance snapshot takes place. So that is important to note. We know of one wallet that's supporting Flair Finance right now, and that is the Decent wallet. And we expect many more wallets and exchanges to support Flair Finance in the future. But we have to keep in mind here, this is a non-custodial DeFi protocol. It's meant to be utilized in that way. So we will go deeper into DeFi in the coming weeks, and especially leading up to Flair Finance launch. We will cover that in depth. But as of right now, what you need to know, there's nothing you can do at the moment to get ready. But once the Flair network goes live, you'll need your Spark tokens in a participating exchange or participating wallet to then receive your yFLR. So we'll get more announcements and more supporting exchanges and more supporting wallets in the future. So there's nothing you can do right now. Be patient. Just learn about the ecosystem. Please check out the DeFiStandard.com. There's a bunch of information on there. We have voice notes. We have blogs on there. All the videos that I've done in the past month will be on there, and you could go back and learn about the Flair network. So I haven't covered Flair Finance yet because I want everyone to really understand the Flair network first, and then we could go into the different applications that are being built on it. And basically what Flair Finance is doing is taking all of those Ethereum money Lego blocks, Compound, Uniswap, Yearn Finance, and some of the others like Curve, and bringing them over and putting them all together on one ecosystem platform. So they're made to go together, unlike the patchwork that has developed over on Ethereum. And I really think this is important because from the beginning, we're going to have low gas fees, extremely low gas fees. And the governance controls the gas fees on the Flair network, not the miners, because there are no miners. And it's going to be set very low, especially in the beginning. So gas fees will not be a concern, but they'll utilize the same Ethereum virtual machine. So the same smart contracts are able to be used on the Flair network that are utilized on Ethereum mainnet. And the Flair Finance also has that Flair wrap. So all these ERC20 tokens are going to be able to come over and be wrapped and brought on to the Flair Finance ecosystem. And with 6 different products and 3 different tokens, it's a very robust, wide ecosystem that they're building right out the gate. And we hope to see more exchange support and more wallet support. And we will cover this more in depth leading up to the Flair network going live and then the Flair Finance snapshot. Just to recap, at the moment, there's nothing you need to do. If you have your Spark coming to you on an exchange, and say it's an exchange that doesn't support Flair Finance, you'll have a month to move that in preparation for the snapshot of your Spark tokens. So this snapshot is not of your XRP, it's of your Spark tokens once you get them. So you'll have a whole month to move those to a Flair Finance supporting exchange or wallet to then participate in the snapshot and then receive the airdrop. Then, after you receive your Dflr, which is worth nothing and useless, you'll have 7 to 10 days to swap that on Flair X for yFLR. And then you could utilize it in all their DeFi protocols. I'm Mickey B. Fresh, and I'm out.